Whew. So guys, this was 2 kilometers mulching down our forest road, as you've seen. A bit of a time walk video, I hope so. See, I'm sweaty. Probably you won't see on the video, but we've covered around about 120 meters in height difference. And I was running behind the tractor all the time, so I got a bit sweaty. But as you can see, this is the first stage in upgrading, maintaining, servicing our forestry road. It doesn't belong to us though. I call it our forestry road because we're using it most of the time, except the workers who work in the forest, of course. But we're the only people living down in the valley. So this is our main entrance and exit to the mill. And as you can see, it's been washed out quite heavily. Not quite heavily, it's okay to drive, but our vehicles, they're getting destroyed, or like they're suffering a lot from this road. So we want to do a bit of maintaining. So first step, mulching down the embankment as far as it goes. You've seen there are a couple of big logs in the way, so we couldn't really go over all the places. Plus there are steep valleys down here, so it's hard to drive with a mulching device behind the tractor, which is not that wide. So we couldn't go very close down to the embankment. But nevertheless, now we found the big logs. We know where they are. And the most important task was to mulch out headlands where we could store some gravel later and to spread it out onto the road. So this was a tractor from our neighbor. He's helping us with this equipment. He also has a bit of a road digger. How do you call this one? No. Oh well, you will see. Different device. So yeah, it's really been washed out quite a bit. This is also the steepest part of the road. I reckon you can't see it on the video, but it's a bit steeper, so the water is taking down all the gravel. Here we have a Abschlag, we call it in German. So a bit of a diversion for the water in the road, but as you see, it's way too small. We've been servicing it regularly, but it just clogs up in no time. So I will put something bigger in, and maybe even further up one more, and maybe even down there one more. The main task is to push the embankment down towards the creek sides. So this is a little creek that goes down towards our creek. So we'll push it down here so that the water, which is running on the surface of the road at the moment, is being pushed down into the creek as soon as it comes in touch with the road. So see here also it goes down quite a bit, but the road is still quite okay. We've got some bedrock up there, down there, so it's just jumping over the bedrock, stops a bit of the water flow, and then it goes down there. As I said, pushing it down to the creek is one task. We're going to see what we can do here on the hillside and the mountainside. We're probably going to push it or take out some dirt around here as well. Try to widen the road a bit. Though this project is planned as a project for one day. Let's see how far we can get, and maybe we'll do another weekend for the surfacing. That will probably not happen today. So the surfacing with gravel and rock will happen another day. Today is mulching and moving dirt day. Moving dirt from the hillside down to the embankment and pushing down the embankment into the creek side as well, so that the water is not accumulating on the road. One more down slush here on the hillside. So it hasn't been raining a lot lately. There was two major thunderstorms a day ago, 2 days ago, and that what happened just with, was it 25-30 liters of rain. So you imagine what happens when there's 100 liters coming down. So we can put some gravel down here. First, low downhill. I'll put it up there, so we have a bit of a source of gravel along the way. Here, we're going to so let's see, and we're going to start again, and then especially the layers, some of the layers just go there, select fill something like this. It's not a full property, but we have a hole, so we have to push back to the side to make a good runoff from the forest road. So here, it's a bit steep again, a bit more shout, some big rocks sticking out. Here actually it's not too bad with the side tilt, like this way, of the road. So we just have to push a little bit of the embankment out, put a bit of new surface, a bit of gravel on the road, and then the water will go down that way. Much easier, much faster, and it's not eroding away the road. So here we have a bit of a steep height again, as you can see. So all washed out, all washed down. All the smaller, finer particles are down there. We collect it down there. We have to push it up again. So we don't need a lot of gravel on this part. I don't know if you can see it, but here, because of all the gravel that accumulated, here the road is actually higher than the side of the road, than the embankment. So here the water was actually running off here, here, and then it went down here, which is a bit of a hiking trail down along the main creek. And this is the mud hole. This is the part where all the surface water will sit after rain. I've tried to make a couple of smaller channels. This is the lowest part here. So now it's covered, but there was a bit of a channel down here that I've cleared out regularly, and then the water would run down there towards the hiking trail and then into the creek. So dealing with surface water is one of the tasks at hand. Another task is to deal with mountain water. So what do I do? What do I mean with mountain water? At the hillside over here we have smaller springs. Can't really call them springs. It's just where water trickles out from the mountainside. And so over time this water is collecting on this side of the road, and it forms puddles, of course. If there's no drainage across the road, this water will just sit there. Every time we drive through, the hole will get deeper and deeper. So at these spots, I will show you one in a second. At these spots we'll put an extra drain in to make the water run off towards the creek side, as I said. So here is another headland that we mulched, and here will be a big load of gravel, because here the road makes a turn. We came down from there, so this is from up the mountain ridge going down, and now we are leveling out. That means now there's the big creek. You can't see it right now, but there's the bigger creek that's on this creek side. We're living on this creek side. So now the road is leveling out, and this is where the problem with water from the hillside starts. It's not so much anymore the surface water running on the road. It's more the mountain water that has been pushed out, or that is coming out from the mountainside. So another place where we're gonna put a lot of gravel for up there, and then for this part as well. These are just two potholes. This is surface water collecting up here. It is a bit tricky to mulch down here, as you see. So it's quite steep. If the tractor goes down there, it's gone. Some broken off trees we couldn't mulch over. We're gonna push them down with the loader. A rotten tree came down here. This has to be pushed as well. It's not possible to dig a channel for the mountainside water. It's just rock, it's just bedrock, and it would cost a hell of a lot of money to dig out a channel over here and then dig a culvert every, I don't know, 100 meters or whatever. It's just way too expensive. This part of the road is around about 2 kilometers long, and it even goes further. We don't do that part of the road. So where we've left the tractor, there's a fork. Right side goes up to the village and left side as well. So at the moment we're using mostly the right side because it's more level. On the left side it's even steeper. And yeah, it's almost only bedrock. And to put gravel on bedrock, you know, will just wash away. So we have to do some other measures, some other kind of grading over there. Don't know yet. So see, the bushes are already growing into the road. Hope to push these little guys away as well. So here's one of the spots. There's almost always wet, except for the springtime and autumn. This is almost always wet. So here's a lot of mud collected. That's not so no water. It's supposed to level. So there's a lot of mud that collected alongside the road. This one I've pushed through already to make a bit of room for the water to drain it out. Anyway, so somewhere around here we will have to dig a trench on the surface of the road and then put down some kind of piping. It'll probably not be a pipe, not be a culvert. It will probably be a surface channel made from, what are they called? These roadside steel embankments on the highways, on the German Autobahn, or not on the Autobahn, on the national highways, on the national roads. What are they called? German, it's Leitplanken. Oh well, you know, these metal rigs that they put up in corners and in steep curves and stuff. So we're probably gonna use these full metal hard steel alloy thingies, because there is heavy traffic on this road. With heavy traffic, I don't mean a lot of traffic, but the traffic that comes down here, like the forestry equipment, is quite heavy. So if you put down just a whatever rain pipe or normal drain, it will just be smashed. So nothing like here. I have to put down nothing much. Couple of trees came down a while ago. It's a little clearing. Nice into a creek. Yeah. So these are big logs lying along the roadside. They of course have to be pushed down. All these little trees, they have to go just too close to the road. So we're coming to one of the major springs. This in autumn and fall is almost like a little creek. So water's really coming out, pouring out from the mountain over here. And then it's going that way and then going down that way. If we push this away, make a small drain, that shouldn't be a big of a deal. So the drainage over here. There's a little bit from outside, and oh, there's a. So it's supposed to be there. The pickaxe in the wintertime I've broken up some ice just to let the water run through. This all was covered in ice. It's just a sheet of ice. So not nice to drive on. And we have to get this water out from the road. So pipe over there and probably pipe somewhere over here. Not really a pipe, as I said, like the surface drainage, like Leitplanken thingy. Oh yeah, that one I've dug as well with our little digger. I think I've got some pictures. I'll put them in right now. So as you see, I took some material from there, filled all these holes, pushed dirt over to get the drainage going. But as you saw, also it takes a long time for this digger to move by itself. We put it behind the tractor, it's faster, but oh well, we have to change tires and change the walking gear, and it takes always like 15-20 minutes. And then if I drive down there with this little digger, the road is blocked, so if there's any traffic coming through, Yeah, so make a diversion of another 6-8 kilometers to get to this side of the road again. Coming closer to the mill. There is nothing much to be done over here. This is all good gravel road. A couple of roots sticking out from there, but the tree belonging to these roots is long dead. Maybe this one or somewhere over here, or this one all been cut down, so they will decay over time. Maybe just fill it out with some gravel, or maybe not. So this is the mill back home, and let's see what happens next.